Let's talk numbers. The first time a car numbered 10 ever won at Daytona in a Winston Cup race, 1985. Greg Sachs won the July 400 miler.
Oh, trouble.
Off turn 4, Michael Waltrip goes spinning in front of the pack, and here they come.
4 cars spinning. John Andretti, Kenny Wallace, 9 cars. Stacy Compton goes down pit road. Elliott Sadler gets caught up in it. Now they'll race back to the flag. And, you know, I think they'll get this cleaned up before the 4 race is over. They'll get it restarted, but you want to be in front when you restart because you won't have many laps to go. So they're going to race right back to the flag.
That's right, Ned. The leaders have not taken the caution flag. The accident happened behind them. Here comes Benson up in turn number 3. Jarrett a car length behind him. Wallace trying to gain some ground. That's Burton in 3rd. And then Bill Elliott. Wallace trying to gain on them. And here they come to the flag for the caution flag with 8 laps to go. Benson holds them at bay. And we'll have to see if we can clear the debris and get this race restarted.
And Elliott Sadler is sitting right in the...
And then Burton's 22 got into Stewart. And everybody scrambles.
That car is taking a whale of a ride, that 20 car is. It's getting hit. It's upside down. It's hit on its roof. It's on fire.
And here's another angle.
Coming off of turn 2 where we've said that it's the wind. Somebody got into the back of that car right there.
That's Ward Burton right there.
I saw a puff of tire smoke, and then everything let loose.
I think that's what started. Somebody got it back of Ward Burton off turn 2.
I'm pretty sure the 4 car got into the back of Ward Burton, turned him into the 20 car, and God help all of them because there's no place to go. And you can't see. And here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
And he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart won airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride.
But, well, how about a test drive?
That's a bunch of them. Oh, my goodness. Bust us out there, Sammy. Back at Daytona, a massive accident down in turn 1 has claimed at least 15 cars. It started up toward the front of the field. You see the carnage scattered in the corner. Matt Kenseth, Johnny Benson, Ricky Rudd was in it. Oh, look at that. Kenny Wallace, John Andretti, Casey Atwood. Is that Jeff Gordon? Can't see.
I don't think so. I think Jeff Gordon. I think that Kevin Harvick spun. I think that Jeff Gordon was able to get underneath him. I don't know that for sure. Kenny Wallace' car is on fire, but he's quickly out of the car.
Todd Bodine's car there, just barely visible on the left of the screen.
Looks like everybody's window nets have dropped.
Yeah, Gordon made it through. What a scene.
Casey Atwood climbing out.
Good news. Look at his car. All torn up. At the tracks where they use the restricted engine package, Daytona and Talladega, all the drivers talk about the big one. Harvick is out of his car. They talk about the big one, the wreck that sweeps up a large number of cars. It's just happened 3/4 of the way through the race. Yep. Jerry Nadeau damaged in it. He's just driven back around to pit road. There's Bobby Hamilton. See the Hans device he's getting off his neck, the head and neck restraint. One of the 2 that are approved and mandated by NASCAR.
And that's the 2nd car that Hamilton has torn up this week.
I think Bobby Hamilton's telling the fire guy, hey guys, my car's on fire. How about come on over? Put it out.
Sixth caution of the 500, and it was a big one. Let's take a look at what happened. There's Kenny Wallace.
Out of the car, yep.
All right, Jeff Gordon and the Kevin Harvick make contact going down in turn 1.
And there we were talking about throwing the block, and that looks like what happened.
And the first 4 or 5 cars get through, and then about the 7th or 8th, I don't know, about the wherever the 43 car of Andretti, that was the next car to hit. And after that, there's no place for anyone to go.
That's right, the track just becomes completely blocked. Let's take another look.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. 57 laps complete this time by, and look at this pack. Trouble off
Trouble,
turn
big
4.
trouble.
Newman slams the wall.
Man.
Comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car as he slides down the asphalt, and when that car hit the grass of the tri-oval, Ryan Newman went upside down.
Come on, boy, get out.
A crash on pit road. Bobby Labonte has slammed into Ken Schrader as Schrader slid through the infield grass.
And the problem was Schrader was already wrecked. They come down pit road, and I don't think Schrader could control his car.
Ryan's moving in the car. So he is moving around trying to get out.
Not a whole lot he can do hanging there like that. I mean, he's got to have help. Pretty big boy. He doesn't want to.
Kenny Schrader's climbed out. Newman has signaled that he is okay. He is a strapping young fella.
Yes, he is.
Used to driving open-wheel sprint cars.
I mean, Darrell, this is a predicament trying to get unhooked out of that car upside down.
Well, you got seat belts, you got the Hans device. I mean, there's just so many things. You got to have help. Man, it ripped the rear end housing right out from under that race car. When it dug into that grass right there, it just started tearing the car apart.
Ryan Newman, USAC Silver Crown champ and Purdue University engineering graduate. He's going to climb out of that car with help, and here Bobby Labonte and Ken Schrader.
I think Schrader was in the grass, and he was going down through here, and I think his car must have gotten out of control, and Bobby Labonte was coming along, and he just slid over in front of him.
All right, you're looking down at Labonte's crew, looking to see if they have so much damage that they can't get back into the race.
There you see Ryan Newman right there.
Oh, yeah, he waved to the crowd. All right, buddy.
What a ride.
Second caution flag of the day. Newman's car got tipped into the outside wall and then slid through the infield. And when it got to the grass, it got airborne.
Let's watch her here and see what happens. Oh, Kenny Schrader got out of control, got into him. Oh, that's what happened, Mike. His right rear tire came off. Car goes airborne, then when it hits the ground, it digs in and just rips it apart. Let me tell you, the way these cars are inside, he's in a capsule in there. And so these cars, they've done such an incredible run.
Watch the 21 car right on by.
That 97 has shown to be fast, very fast.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble.
Contact on the backstretch. It's Mike Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The time. Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the big one right there.
Took a lot.
There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car upside down.
Terry Smith.
See movement there at the left side of the car as we look at it. Caution flag is out. The field has slowed. And the safety and rescue workers already there attending to Michael Waltrip's car and the others involved in this big crash down the back straightaway.
And this is why NASCAR slow these cars down on the caution flag to let the rescue workers get there to attend to these drivers as quickly as possible.
They're so much faster right now than they used to.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable.
And Wally, you know from your experience inside these race cars with all the safety restraints and so on, it's not a big cockpit area that a driver has to move around in, and Michael's not a small guy.
No, Michael's a big guy. You've got your Hans on. Michael's got some extra wires connected to this helmet because of the camera that he's carrying, like I was yesterday. So there's a lot of things that are connected to you. You can't move. On top of that, you're upside down. It's hard to get the steering wheel off, and then when you let go of the belts, you got to be careful not to fall on top of the steering wheel column. So you got to really try to get your bearings and just, if you're not hurt, just take your time. Those guys are there. The fire guys are there.
Terry Labonte. Saw McMurray and Vickers.
Okay, here we go. This might be our best shot.
Watch the car on the bottom there. The blue and yellow car. Slides up right there. just ever so little contact, which doesn't look like a lot. When you're running 185, 190 mile per hour, it's a lot.
There's the 15. The mountain right now, he's going to dig in. There goes one of the tires that Alan talked about. Violent.
Very violent.
Crash. Well, Rusty got through it. Here we go.
Harvick slides up in front of traffic.
Cars upside down, cars everywhere.
And turn 4 is calamity corner once again. The field is frozen. Jeff Gordon came across with Stewart and Johnson side by side, but there are half a dozen cars littered between turn 3 and the start-finish line.
He's all right.
Last year's third-place finisher Scott Wimmer, the 29 of Kevin Harvick, the 42 of Jamie McMurray.
One of these cars was just standing up on its nose, swimming, spinning around like a water spout.
Greg Biffle. Jeff Burton had lost an engine prior to this. He coasts onto pit road. And here's Harvick's car, the backup car, damaged, looking a lot like Thursday's car.
But guys, we could see this coming and smell this coming for about 3 or 4 laps.
Here's how it unfolded between turns 3 and 4.
Because something happened to Greg Biffle, the 16 car that triggered all this.
I believe, watch it and see if it's Harvick's car. Oh, no, it's the 22 car.
Scott Wimmer.
Look at him just spinning around. He got up on his nose and come back down on his wheels. Boy, that 04 turn, she's mean, boys.
Watch the 22 of Scott Wimmer, the yellow car, take a wild ride here.
What started at Greg Biffle came down in the 10, or the 10 went up into Greg Biffle. They got together anyhow.
The luckiest man there was Rusty Wallace. Got a little tap but kept on going.
Now watch Wimmer. Over once, twice, 3 on his nose, 4, wham.
Oh. A multi-car crash has just occurred in turn 3. Kyle Petty is involved. J.J. Yaley in the 18. That's Carl Edwards in the 99.
Someone spun going in turn 3 and backed across the racetrack in front of all these cars and left them no place to go. Might have been Kyle. I'm not sure exactly who it was.
Here are the replays. We're under caution at Daytona.
No tire on that left rear, BP, the 45 car. Let's see. There's Jeff. Oh, wow.
Jeff Green breaks loose through the grass, then up the track.
Kind of a strange crash, really.
Joe
Watch
Nemechek
Edwards. Almost, I mean, right in the door.
Looked like Schrader did a good job getting around it in the 21.
And left those guys with absolutely no place to go. And we see what happened to the left rear of the 45. The 99 car just knocked off the tire and the quarter panel of the left rear.
Hard impact there. Carl Edwards into Kyle Petty.
Not sure why Jeff Green lost it there going into the corner. It's kind of it looked a little bit strange, BP. I couldn't put my finger on why he lost it before he even got to the corner.
Yeah, I think we probably need to back up just a little bit and see if we can have some idea what happened. I'm not sure exactly. I'm like you. Didn't look right.
And Dave Burns had just told us Carl Edwards was running back there because he wasn't very happy with the way his car was handling, wouldn't turn.
White flag, 1 lap to go.
To the white, man. Coming to the white. Single file behind him.
Front 4, single file.
Here they go. They got to go. They got to get Mark moved. They got to move him somehow.
He gets back to that yellow line right around the bottom, all the way through turn 1 and 2.
Mark Martin is driving the race of his life. And there's nobody that's better at holding people off at Daytona.
And Kyle Busch lagged back a little bit. Is he going to get help? Is he going to come? He's looking.
Back behind you.
He almost squeezed Harvick into the wall, and here comes Harvick, the 29, with Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose.
And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
We got one car
still,
on his roof coming across the start finish like
still wrecking. They're wrecking everywhere. Boyer's on fire. Jeff Gordon's wrecked.
And they
Montoya.
are still wrecking.
Montoya, Stremme, Kenseth, Biffle, Marlin, Carl Edwards, Casey Mears all crashed on the final lap. Have you ever?
Well, a couple of times.
I'm going to repeat what I heard a few years ago. No, I have never.
I got so excited I broke the damn mirror in half.
Jeff Gordon's day ends about like his teammates.
Clint Boyer came across the start-finish line on his roof.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. This.
David Stremme's climbed out. He is okay. Sterling Marlin, who slid across to a stop.
Well, Larry, let's see. Are they going to run these cars anymore?
They were intending on it, but I don't think many of them will.
It may be a good time to bring the old car tomorrow out.
What was the margin of victory for Kevin Harvick? Unofficially 2/100ths of a second.
I thought Mark had him. I thought he was going to hold him.
And Mark Martin, a bridesmaid once again.
He's got to be thrilled, though. What a finish.
Bakersfield, California's Kevin Harvick, who took over the seat in what became the 29 after the death of Dale Earnhardt, stormed up the outside. Kyle Busch couldn't hold him off. He had a full head of steam into turn 3.
There was no question you were going to have to go the outside. Mark was not going to give up the inside. What happens back here is Kyle Busch gets on the apron ever so slightly, gets into the 17, and it's on from there. Look at the 38 car up on top of somebody. There's a car turning over.
And look at this finish.
Oh, there they go. Off a 2, off a 2.
Jimmy Johnson goes around Martin Truex. Johnson had been stuck in the middle coming by the start and finish line, what we call the sucker hole, and backing up. And he got turned around coming off turn 2 to bring out the 4th caution flag of this Daytona 500.
That wasn't exactly the storm I thought was going to happen.
Now we got hit. I can't see him. He's behind the wall.
Got Hornish underneath of Jimmy here. Let's see if Hornish gets up into him. Now, you know, Jimmy got loose. I don't think Hornish had anything to do with that. Jimmy just got snapped loose.
Denny Hamlin, the 11, he's going to have some damage.
Fourth caution of the day. Pole sitter Jimmy Johnson gets loose and is collected by rookie Sam Hornish. Around goes Johnson and Truex. Sorensen driving the famed number 43 that Richard Petty took to victory lane here 7 times.
And all of those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Caution is out. McMurray was a contender. He's all torn up. And the dominant car of the day, that of Kyle Busch, is a victim of this pileup. Let's look first from the DirecTV blimp.
This is the result of a driver that's a little frustrated.
All right, there's Brian Vickers. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 right up there at the front on the inside. Coming off 2 down the back straightaway. Junior gets a good run.
Vickers puts a little block on him. And then you be the judge.
Let's reiterate the rule. You are not allowed to advance your position below the yellow line. If you are forced below the yellow line, you must come back up and blend in.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Junior just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear of Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
And the results are a good 8 to 10 race cars torn up.
Now Vickers makes a legal move coming down to block Dale Jr. But instead of blending in, Jr. caught the back end of Vickers' Toyota. And of all the cars in that crash, you have to feel for Kyle Busch. He had led 88 laps, far more than anyone else today, but his number 18 is junk.
Just all of this uncalled for, mainly with 75 laps to go in this race.
Let's ride with Junior.
Gonna push you. On the bottom, 3 wide. 2 outside. 2 outside. There. Go low. Go low. Go low. There you go. Good job.
Jimmy Johnson's view.
Outside. No help. Out, in and out. In and out. In and out. Guys, be ready with our splitter hardware.
With Denny Hamlin. Casey Kane now in the second row inside.
Got a smoker down in turn 1, guys.
Car spins and gets collected down off the banking between turns 1 and 2. Regan Smith is in it. Brad Keselowski and Keselowski's teammate, the 77 Sam Hornish, are all involved.
And I mean, Jeff Gordon in that 24 just squeaked by.
And, you know, most of the wrecks we've seen down here have actually started mid-pack and back.
First caution of the day. Oh, Max Pappas from Como, Italy. His first 500. He's on the apron.
Another one.
And Sam Hornish, IndyCar star. There is Gordon. No apparent damage to the left side of his Chevy. And Regan Smith, the young driver from outside Syracuse, New York. Boris Said has his car torn up.
I don't know if it lost an engine or I'm not sure a tire or something happened. I looked over in the turn 1 there and there's smoke. You see the smoke.
Right behind the yellow car is the number 12 of Keselowski. And you see him just get a little loose right there. Gets up into the wall, collects Smith and Hornish.
I believe that 12 car had something happen to it, like it may have lost a right rear tire or something. There's really no reason for it to step out like that.
So Roger Penske had 3 cars in this race, and that gets 2 of them, the 12 and the 77. There you see Gordon just squeaking by in that 24.
Remember, Carl Edwards is one of those who had to start this race at the back of the pack due to changes.
Right here in front of you. A lot of smoke. Slow it down. Slow it down.
And he goes to the apron to ride through this off the 31-degree banking.
There's one thing about a car here. It's going to go up the hill, it's going to go down the hill, and it just might go back up the hill. So you got to miss it twice if you try to go low.
Keselowski and Hornish have taken their cars to the garage. Some of the others have come to pit road for repair. Riding with Mark Martin.
Looks pretty easy, doesn't it?
We know better.
Think you could drive a car, folks, at home 200 miles an hour?
Closer together than most people park?
Yeah, 200 miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Keselowski, David Rudiman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Larry. They're running awfully close together.
Watch the top right of your screen coming
right up here.
Michael into his teammate Rudiman.
Got Rudiman loose.
Right in front of Keselowski. Here comes Nemechek. Pow into Michael.
Look at. Nope, didn't make it. Didn't make it.
Brian Keselowski, we just talked about, was involved. That white car up against the wall there.
There's Mark Martin down here, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. My. Let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's not a whole lot to see. Michael just got into the back of the... Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
The old Aaron Stream machine, she's done.
Marcus Ambrose is going to the garage for repair. Michael Waltrip's car comes steaming toward the garage.
Brian Vickers in the 83 car gets a lot of damage. Marcus Ambrose in the 9.
Look at that. 3 Hendry cars, 24, 48, and 5, all slamming into each other.
Back it down, back it down, back it down.
Teammate Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards, 3 Fords.
Oh, the hurdle already.
The wall. Slams to the outside. It's 5-time champion Jimmy Johnson. He collects Danica Patrick and the 34 of David Reagan.
Trevor Bayne, the 21 car, winner from last year. You see him involved?
Kurt Busch is involved.
I'm a little worried about Jimmy. He took a hard lick right in the door. And there's the HenryCar.com Chevrolet of Kurt Busch. He's got damage.
1 lap and 600 feet, and it's calamity.
Oh my gosh. Jimmy took a really hard lick, that second lick.
David Reagan's Ford, his first outing for Front Row Motorsports. Busch will make it back around to the pits.
Both of our winners from the Daytona races last year involved. Trevor Bayne won the 500. David Reagan won the July race.
When you see the replay of this and you see what Danica did, you won't believe it.
All right, let's keep an eye on Jimmy Johnson. He's right tucked up underneath the 78 of Regan Smith.
Ooh, just got a little tap in the back end.
I believe that might have been Elliott Sadler in 33.
Elliott Sadler gave him just a little tap. Right here's what I was talking about. Watch Danica. Right there, she gets some damage, but then watch her go down. Jimmy's car's totaled, but watch her right here, right between those 2 cars.
First caution of the night, lap 2. Here's another look. Look at that outside lane and the blue car that's second in line.
And Newman and Busch was actually in front of Tony a little bit when that started happening.
I have to take a couple more looks at that. Right there. Stenhouse got into the side, and Stenhouse in the 6 got into Tony.
I'm not sure, though, that David Gilliland didn't get into the back of Stenhouse and push him up into Tony.
Could have to look at it again.
That's about the 2nd or 3rd wreck we've seen on the exit of the tri-oval. It just starts narrowing up right there.
Cars are really free and loose right through the tri-oval. I'm telling you, you run at 200 mile an hour through there, it's hard to hang on sometime.
You saw there where Kyle Busch in the 18 jumped down in front of Ricky Stenhouse in the 6.
I know Stenhouse hit Tony. I'm not sure if he got forced into him. Here's smoke right out here.
All right, there's Stenhouse with Gilliland behind him.
No, you know what? The 20 car and the 6 car make a little contact.
You're right.
And I'm not sure that didn't move the 6 car up, Stenhouse up just enough that he got into the left rear of Tony Stewart.
So let's regroup here. Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse make contact. Stenhouse moves up into Tony Stewart.
if you can. Cedar between 2.
I believe. To close up on that front pack.
Yeah, you could see right there, it went right at 200 miles per hour when he just leaned on Harvick in that 29.
Now maybe down the back here they could get a head of steam up and get a little side draft maybe.
That's Ryan Newman, 39, with Paul Menard.
Sometimes on the outside they're getting into turn 3. You can pick up a little room, make up a little time, but they actually look to me like they might even be falling back a tad.
13 laps to go.
Oh, trouble, big trouble, big trouble.
Mid-pack. Sliding and spinning into the infield, McMurray. And sliding up the racetrack, one car going to coast to the bottom. That's Eric Almirola. Regan Smith was in it, and Casey Kane. The left side of his car torn up, and we're back under caution for
Regan
the ninth
Smith.
time at lap 188.
Almirola, the one car there, McMurray's the one I saw. Man, he was spinning around like a top.
Carl Edwards has damage to the right front. Our pole sitter.
It's about mid-pack. You see McMurray right back here. He's the first guy I saw go around in the. Got a little wobble.
I believe he blew a left rear tire. That thing started wiggling around, and as he came into the tri-oval, it spun out, and when it came to a stop, you can see the left rear tire is completely torn apart. So I think he had a cut tire, and the thing just got away from him.
Yeah, he was wobbling through the tri-oval there, and finally went around with him.
Another driver involved, Brad Keselowski, right there.
Wonder if Brad twittered that.
Right
Probably
there.
Oh, Tony's going around. Another wreck through the tri-oval.
Kyle Busch, hard slide through the grass, no contact. At least half a dozen cars involved in this one.
He gets a little push from behind, maybe from Joey Logano.
He and Stenhouse go around. Newman and Busch.
And Newman and Busch was actually in front of Tony a little bit when that started happening.
Have to take a couple more looks at that. Right there. Stenhouse got into the side, and Stenhouse in the 6 got into Tony.
I'm not sure, though, that David Gilliland didn't get into the back of Stenhouse and push him up into Tony.
Could have to look at it again.
That's about the second or third wreck we've seen on the exit of the tri-oval. It just starts narrowing up right there.
Cars are really free and loose right through the tri-oval. I'm telling you, you run at 200 mile an hour through there, it's hard to hang on sometime.
You saw there where Kyle Busch in the 18 jumped down in front of Ricky Stenhouse in the 6.
I know Stenhouse hit Tony. I'm not sure if he got forced into him. Here's smoke right out here.
All right, there's Stenhouse with Gilliland behind him.
No, you know what? The 20 car and the 6 car make a little contact.
You're right.
And I'm not sure that didn't move the 6 car up, Stenhouse up just enough that he got into the left rear of Tony Stewart.
So let's regroup here. Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse make contact. Stenhouse moves up into Tony Stewart.
Coming across that, just get a rolling here if we can. Cedar between 2.
Down to no
for later if he stuck back in the pack. Balance good. His car just a little free when it was up top.
Johnson first, Kenseth second with a push from Gordon. Oh, Kane! Kane gets around, slides across the track. Dillon misses him. More carnage down toward turn number 1. Montoya, Harvick.
A real low apron.
All with damage as the caution comes out. Well, Keelan Harvick is not Dad's good luck charm today. Casey Kane, the blue Chevrolet number 5, the first car to go sideways, and then the secondary collision caught up Montoya, and Harvick were under the second yellow flag, working lap 33.
Our champion, Brad Keselowski, a lot of damage.
The champ's got a lot of damage. Tony Stewart.
Car owner Rick Hendrick looks on to see which of his cars will make it back to pit road. Watch on the outside, the number 5, the blue car, and behind him, the yellow number 18.
Yeah, the 18 just got down on that inside, caught the left rear corner of the 5 car. That's a real vulnerable spot, and gave him a little tap and sent him sailing.
What a close call for Joey Logano in that 22. He was all the way down in the grass and dodged it.
Yeah, these guys on further down the track, they really got in it afterwards when people were slowing down.
Kane sideways, comes across the nose of Montoya. Logano misses him.
And Darrell, that was coming out of that tri-oval where you're running so fast with very little banking to hold you.
They're going to have to do something to get by all those Toyotas, though.
Yeah, those 6 Toyota drivers, remember, they were some of the
trouble
first.
Turn 1, guys.
One car down, spinning. Trevor Bayne up to the wall, collects another. That is Carl Edwards. The 5th wreck that Edwards has been involved in this spring. The 34 of David Reagan involved, and that's the 35 of Riverside, California's Josh Wise. We're under caution for the 4th time today.
Something happened to a car going into turn 1, as if it just, I don't know who it was, you'll have to take a look at it, but they lost it going into turn 1.
See Austin Dillon there in the 33, damage to the front end. Trevor Bayne, we mentioned him in the 21. Terry Labonte in the 32 car as well.
Josh Wise all torn up, and his teammate at Front Row Motorsports, David Reagan and David Gilliland. My goodness, all 3 of the front row cars of Bob Jenkins taken out in this pileup.
Let's see what happens here. I looked up, I saw a car spinning, I couldn't tell why.
27 is the first car out of line in front of you. Hold it, no caution. Caution is out. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Here's Brad Keselowski on the outside of Carl Edwards. Rudeman just ahead.
Let's see what happens here. I looked up, I guess it was the 2 car I saw going, it looked like he was down on the apron sideways. Ooh, looked like possibly.
But it looked like they started accordioning up in front of Brad Keselowski.
Very similar to what we saw at the start of the race, Larry. Just somebody slowed up a little bit and it caused that accordion effect.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 17, he just basically stopped and he went on by.
Now Joey Logano was not involved, but they're working on his car. Pit road back at the fuel cell.
These guys make it look easy because they're the best drivers in the world.
Dale Jr.'s grandfather Ralph was a standout in NASCAR's sportsman division. His father Dale Earnhardt, 7-time NASCAR champion and Daytona 500 winner. Carl Edwards breaks up that party, putting his Roush Fenway Ford out in front. His teammate Greg Biffle, the 16, leading the inside lane. We're inside of 150 miles to go. Dare I say we've been caution-free since the green flag after the rain delay here in Daytona.
Is going to crash big.
Crash out of turn number 4. A multi-car pileup. Eric Almirola, his car all torn up. That is Michael Waltrip, who will not win his 3rd Daytona 500. David Gilliland's car is crashed. Almirola's gone straight to the garage with his number 43. Gilliland stuck in the mud, and Danica Patrick.
And Mike, Danica, she pounded that outside wall. head on first.
Let's watch the action coming out of turn number 4. And let's have a look for Eric Almirola on the right side in the 43.
It looked like the 33 car of Brian Scott. Something. And watch Danica right there. Man, that was a lick.
Brian Scott down right next to, and Kevin Harvick makes contact in the 4.
That's what shot
Scott.
Yep. That's what shot the 33 up the hill. I knew something had to happen because he just abruptly, the 33 abruptly turned to the right and went up the hill. We got our pole sitter involved. Danica.
Austin Dillon, Danica Patrick, Michael Waltrip among those involved. There's Waltrip coming off the outside wall. He collects Justin Allgaier in the 51.
Paul Menard at 27, been fast all night.
Paul just can't catch a break down here this week.
David Gilliland into the mud, and Ryan.
Thing that happens, and you know, I appreciate everyone sticking around and watching, and we'll go get him at Phoenix.
Glad you're okay. Thanks, Danica.
Thanks, Krista. Dale Earnhardt.
Whoa, here we go.
Big crash again. Turn 4. It's Calamity Corner. There's rookie Reed Sorensen sliding down off the banking. Big damage to the Ford of Marcus Ambrose, number 9. And caution waves with 38 laps to go.
Marcus Ambrose with a bunch of damage there. The 7 car. Something seemed, somebody broke loose in the pack. I couldn't tell if there was contact.
Rookie Michael Annett, heavy damage on his pilot Chevy. Marcus Ambrose. And let's have a look. Watch the 3 of our pole sitter Austin Dillon. We're under caution in the Daytona 500. Welcome back to the Daytona 500 under the caution flag for a 7-car pileup at turn number 4. Let's take you back to the lap before the crash and look at the number 3 of our pole sitter Austin Dillon.
All right, Austin Dillon in the middle here, 3 wide, you know, and he's caught in the middle. Now watch this thing. She gets real loose with him right there, and he has to catch it. He did a great job of saving the car, but either there was something. Man, look at those cars move around. We're running over 200 miles an hour, and these guys are using every bit of the skill they have. They're trying to, got another car.
Up goes Ryan Newman, Justin Allgaier, Brian Scott, Terry Labonte.
Gone.
Cole Witt.
Right at the back of the field.
Unless they can get this cleaned up in a hurry, this is not going to be good for those drivers up front that are very marginal on fuel.
Parker Kligerman involved as well. Both the Swan Racing cars torn up in this one.
Well, they did that earlier in the week, and they were just lucky to piece everything together to make this Daytona 500. And now they've got a couple of more torn up cars. What a bad bunch of luck for them.
6th caution flag with 6 laps to go. And Terry Labonte's dreams of winning the Daytona 500.
It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence, Mike and Larry, that you get down to the end of the race, we have these kind of things happen. I mean, like I said, you just can't give anymore. Well, it looks like the 3 car of Austin Dillon got into the back of the 31, gave him a shove, and it got him loose.
And I think Ryan Newman in the 31, Darrell, was checking up for something in front of him.
Plus, it just as he was about to turn off in the corner as well.
He got a little bump.
Here's another look. Watch the cat Chevy of Newman, 31.
Man, it just, that little bump, and it turned him. It's just in that vulnerable spot going.
Pace cars in to settle. the Daytona 500. Joey Logano brings them to the line. Denny Hamlin to his inside. It's on.
Kevin Harvick in that 4 was really pushing Clint Bowyer in that 15.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, that was a pretty good restart for that 22 car. He can go where he wants to now. I think he'll stay with Bowyer, though. I don't know what it is, but I think he and Bowyer got a little something going.
Hold your breath for the next 30 seconds as 4 cars try to break away from the field.
That 22, it reminds me of Matt Kenseth in the Unlimited the other night. That 22 is out front. He's hard to catch. Logano has got some speed right now and seems like being out front and pulling these others and not affecting him at all. Here comes Harvick around the outside of Clint Bowyer.
And look who's with him.
And here
Dale
comes
Earnhardt
Dale
Jr.
But look at the run that Harvick had off turn 4 in that 4 car. White flag this time.
A lot of jostling back in the pack. The leader's going to make it under the white, under green. Logano, Harvick, Earnhardt, Bowyer, last lap.
Guess what? The race is getting ready to start off turn 2. It's all on from there on.
Car smoking back of the field, drops back out of play, 3 wide. Big cluster coming off turn number 4. Smoke, trouble, way in the back, but here come the leaders.
The question is, are they going to throw the yellow or are they going to let them race back?
7, 8 car pile up in the back straightaway. Caution is out.
Joey Logano.
Keep coming. Just stay on the gas. Back straightaway. Stay on the gas. Coming to easy here. They say roll out of the throttle.
It's over, boys. It's over.
Middletown, Connecticut's Joey Logano wins the Daytona 500.
Daytona 500, guys! Hell yeah! Wow! Man, you are the man.
9th Sprint Cup Series win for Logano in his 220th start.
Wow! What a deal, guys!
His previous best finish. Green flag stops.
Whoa, Kyle Busch is around. Big wreck.
Wow. There's
Dale Jr. got involved.
Oh, Junior's in it, and Matt Kenseth.
And Ty Dillon and Eric Jones are all piled up in turn 3.
What the heck happened?
The 18 just turned around. I don't know if he got himself in a unique position or the car got loose right there going in the corner or he had a tire going down, but it just turned around in front of everybody.
I don't know. What happened to that 18 car? I'm like you, Joe. I just saw him starting to get sideways.
Kyle Busch, one of the favorites for the 500, and try to repair it.
All right, let's see what we got.
There's Kyle Busch.
All by himself.
Boy.
Oh, it just turned. I mean, that has to be a tire. There's no way that car just jumped around like that without something happening to it. I mean, he just lost. That thing just went sideways.
They were working their way through some slower traffic right here. I can't imagine that there was an aero situation there, but
something cut that tire.
Definitely
Did he contact? Did he make contact with that car he was passing?
That's a good question.
I didn't see any, but we can look at it again. He's just right there. He's all by himself. Now watch. All of a sudden, that car goes around like a left rear tire maybe went down.
Before that, he and Michael McDowell were pretty close together on the racetrack.
Junior almost go up on 2 wheels.
Jimmy Johnson
on the inside.
scoots through.
No, that thing just turned around, Mike, all by itself.
You're right. McDowell was nowhere near him.
Right.
Kyle Busch has gone to the garage. He is out of the Daytona 500. Per the new crash damage policy rules. Here's what Kyle had to say.
Fantastic. Well, that's left rear. I think it was the right rear. Right rear went down. Just entering turn 3.
Wow.
Nice miss by Elliott Sadler in the 7. A wild ride for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Right here, right up and over the nose of Kyle Busch's car. Wow.
Boy, I tell you, that was lucky.
Now, under the crash damage policy, they can make repairs to Junior.
Down the back straightaway, cars get a little bit loose and crazy as they get the end of the back straightaway.
I mean, do they think it's 10 to go?
Trouble. Here we go.
Here we go. Jimmy Johnson got turned, and they pile up behind him.
14:48. I mean, the whole crowd. There's a 10. Wow. Lord have mercy. There you go.
5th caution flag of the day. 7-time series champ Johnson. Clint Boyer is in it. There's Jimmy's Chevrolet all torn up, and he's climbing out. DJ Kennington just drove into the garage after that one.
Goodness gracious.
Joey Gase, Denny Hamlin. Now watch Jimmy Johnson outside, 2nd row.
Oh, they got 4 wide. What happened was the 1 car, he snuck to the outside of the 48 getting into turn 3, and the 6 tried to go to the inside. Just not enough room to make it 4 wide right there.
And Mike, I know you won't. The cars are the most difficult to hang on to at the end of that back straightaway. They're light right there. Any touch, any move can spin you out.
I got you. I've not only seen this, I've been a part of this. Jamie McMurray pulls this move a lot. He sticks his nose just right there on your right rear quarter panel, nudges his way in there, and makes some great moves, but it is very aggressive.
Caution is out once again for a big pileup in turn 3. On the inside, excuse me, that's Gabe. Oh, big trouble.
But they wrecked. Did they not wreck?
Oh, they're wrecking. Suarez to the inside along with Newman. Cars piling up to the outside and all the way across the track.
Was that?
They're still wrecking.
Oh, McMurray's involved. It almost looked like the rear bumper of possibly Chase Elliott got turned into somebody.
Ty Dillon
straight.
What a mess. Good grief.
Landon Castle. Brad Keselowski.
Yeah,
Daniel Suarez.
Brad's car was untouched, I thought, the last time I looked, at least the right side, but boy, now he's got heavy damage.
Yeah. All right, let's see what
one of the cars we'll keep an eye on.
That's the one right there.
Jamie McMurray.
And the 24 in front of him.
Oh, he tries to go to the inside, make it 3 wide.
Yeah.
Gets to the left rear bumper of the 24 of Chase Elliott, turns him down into, I think that's Michael McDowell, and that just starts a chain reaction. Boy, McMurray's just super aggressive. I don't think those Hendrick teammates are going to be real happy with him.
Wow. Oh, goodness. This is amazing.
Right.
This is amazing.
McMurray into the back of, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
So
McMurray's going to try to go 3 wide, and there isn't any room.
Guys, one of the things that happens when you're pushing somebody, you're in control of their car. And what that does is create an opportunity for you to jump inside or outside of them. And it works sometimes, but man, is it risky. You never know if you're going to be able to get inside or if they're going to block you, and that's exactly what happened. He kind of got Chase a little bit out of shape. He went to go inside there, and Chase, I don't know, playoff and stage points.
19 stage wins he had last year.
NASCAR is still reviewing the number 22 of Logano to see if he will be penalized. Look at this! Oh, Stenhouse! He saved it!
No, Jones not going to be able to save it.
Jones did not.
Come on.
Jones, his teammate Suarez, William Byron, Jimmy Johnson are all in it along with Ty Dillon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trevor Bayne was able to weave his way through there.
Caution. And the green and white checkered flag to end stage 1 with Kurt Busch, the stage winner. Alex Bowman in second. Ricky Stenhouse third.
It's too early for those types of aggressive moves. You don't need to do. I know stage points are important, but the Daytona 500 is the most important thing.
Big picture. What's wrong with these people? Can they think big picture?
Daniel Suarez, all torn up. Trying to be the first non-American born 500 winner since Mario Andretti in '67.
Jimmy Johnson.
It won't happen today.
Jimmy Johnson, Mike, gets his third race. He's
not run a race without damaging the car this week.
Half of Team Hendrick and half of Joe Gibbs Racing taken out in that crash.
Oh, well.
There is Eric Jones.
Last year's Rookie of the Year. Such high hopes for him today. The blimp is a great view to sort out what happened here. 3 wide. Look at the orange number 19 and the 88.
So the 12 of Blaney goes try to make a move on the 17 of Stenhouse. He blocks it. They make contact. Great save by Stenhouse, but so much momentum coming with the 20 of Erik Jones. When he gets into the back of the 17 of Stenhouse, his car starts going around on him.
What a shame. What a shame.
6 cars involved, riding with Daniel Suarez.
Wow. That was violent.
Now you know what it's like to wreck at Daytona going into turn 3.
Holy
now,
smoly.
7-time series champ Jimmy Johnson's on board.
Inside, one comes back up top.
Absolutely nothing you can do in that situation.
And let's have a look from the back straightaway as this developed.
Big move to the outside to block Blaney by Stenhouse. I thought for sure Stenhouse was going around.
Yeah, he looked like he was long gone, and that's really what caused this whole thing. When he came up in front of Erik Jones in the 20, Jones had nowhere to go.
And Bowman had filled that space in the inside to make it 3 wide with Erik Jones, so he had nowhere to go.
Nope.
Ty Dillon in the 13. Erik Jones, Daniel Suarez, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, who has made it to pit road.
Right there in front of you. Right on the bumper here. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Couple drivers who tried to sneak through. William Byron was one. Trevor Bayne in the 6 was another. Byron in the 24.
It's up on the outside there.
And prevent Chase Elliott's number 9 from advancing. Big push coming from Elliott and Keselowski. Contact! Elliott slam into the wall.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Casey Kane.
Oh man, oh man.
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, took the wind out of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, that was
Elliott, Kane, here's
violent.
Danica Patrick and Kevin Harvick. Chase Elliott climbs out. Part of running in the draft is having that big push from behind.
Incredible, these runs that come so fast. You cannot protect against that run.
Oh,
we got
Kurt
one
Busch around off the bumper of Blaney.
Inside. Colin, watch your inside. You should be the leader.
Looks like
Truex
yesterday.
not able to avoid this one. Or Bowman.
Oh, Bowman's got it. Benedetto, or Stenhouse, a bunch of them.
DiBenedetto all torn up.
I mean, we keep seeing these big runs coming, and with so much momentum, it's so hard to block that, but that's what you have to do to keep the lead if you're going to win this race.
Kurt Busch turned around looking for the white flag.
Did we see this coming? I think so.
Stenhouse.
Brendan Gaughan.
Alex Bowman, the pole sitter. Matt DiBenedetto. Boy, that little team could have really used a great finish here.
Mike, as they go across the line, and I look at our top 10 flash up here, unbelievable. The guys that are in the top 10. Hamlin put a block on the 41.
Yeah, that stalled out the 41. The 12's right in that that area, that left rear that turns him around.
Yep. And it collects half the field.
It was on from there.
It has become the war of attrition 500.
As soon as Blaney poked his nose to the left rear quarter panel of that 41, around it went, just like we've seen all week.
Yep.
Let's watch from the rear bumper cam of Denny Hamlin.
Bottom. Inside. They're wrecking behind us. Inside. Caution. Watch your inside.
This is all air, folks. That's just air coming off the front nose of that 12 car and pushing on that left side quarter panel of the 41. Of course, then they finally made contact.
Wadded up a bunch of race cars. Oh, my goodness.
It looks as if as many as eight lead lap cars made it through unscathed. Wow. What a shower of sparks.
It's like a really bad video game.
And some of those eight, like Ryan Newman and maybe Allmendinger, do have some damage.
But those are what about these shots?
Martin Truex believes he has a flat tire. He'll come in. Let's ride with him.
Behind you, head back now. Stay low. Come down low. Come low. Low.
Benedetto! And everybody!
Good. Oh, no. Are you kidding me? This is big. Wow. But it.
Boy, it just reminds me of the Clash. Same type of carnage that we saw where these cars were going everywhere. A lot of damage as they all got to turn 3.
Well, that ruined everything.
I mean, sometimes I'm speechless.
A pretty nice push down the back straightaway to Benedetto. Gets to his right rear. Oh, yeah, that just starts to turn him a little bit.
Got him in the right rear.
And then he collects Menard.
Yeah.
Logano just misses it, but the whole outside lane and half the inside pile up.
And this is exactly what we were just talking about. At this stage in the race, you can start to taste victory in the Daytona 500. You want to see that checkered flag, and you'll do anything to get it, and you know you've got to be more aggressive with those bump drafts.
It looks exactly like the Clash. I mean, all those cars, third turn, all those cars wadded up, sliding up the track with sparks flying. It looked so much like the Clash.
That is the 17th of February, looking way too much like the 4th of July.
Amen.
Fireworks everywhere.
Yeah, and it really and truly, it was Paul Menard. He gave to Benedetto a little shove, but it was on the outside, on the right side, and that just turned the Benedetto into the outside wall, and then it was on from there.
And a different situation than we saw in the clash between Menard and with Jimmy Johnson, but it was a similar thing when we heard the spotter on the 21, Menard say, well, he zigged and we zagged.
And in this case, Menard told his team on the radio, I just bumped him a little too hard.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's the end of the race. You're trying to help that guy. You're trying to help the Benedetto. You're not trying to wreck him, but just bad judgment. Look at that 10 car.
Almirola's number 10.
Look at David Reagan underneath the 10 of Almirola.
David Reagan, see what springs he's running. Look at that.
All those sparks flying.
My gosh.
Man, amazing shots.
And all Almirola wanted was a chance to win it on the last lap.
Yeah, well, he didn't
like last year.
Didn't quite get there. Close.
And I got to believe our two leaders right now, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, were really wanting and hoping. Oh, he's going to turn the 30. Oh, man, he almost turned the 34 McDowell.
Great save by McDowell.
Oh, Boyer gets turned.
Yeah,
looked to me like he came up just a little bit too early on McDowell.
Oh, my gosh.
And William Byron's luck runs out.
Get through that one.
What memo did we not get? I mean, this is crazy.
Here's where he comes off that yellow line just a little bit too early. I don't know if the air on the right side brought him up or if he just decided to try to get up in front of him, but just a little bit too early in front of McDowell in the 34. Ooh, big hit.
Big hit.
Right there, 0-0 landing Castle to the side door of William Byron.
Well, let's ride with Ryan Priest because you won't believe this, chapter 2.
He's coming there. Stay with that 14. He's rolling there. 3 wide, just 3 wide. Stay down, stay down. All right, you're good, you're good, you're good. Just stay.
Now somebody's got some luck on his side, or
Chase Elliott.
Skill.
3 wide. 2 wide. Back to 3. Oh, we're working again. Boy, had such a run.
Oh, William took 2 hard hits to the driver's side door. One from Clint Boyer, and then the next one later by Landon Castle.
Kyle Larson's view.
I love it. He's all the way down to second gear.
Gosh. Oh, my Lord. I'd like to explain all this to you, but there really isn't an explanation for it.
I just wish Boyer could have stayed down on that yellow line. That was going to put him in such a great position.
Jimmy Johnson in the 48.
You know, Boyer was not a happy camper about where he had to restart. And, of course, he was trying to get back to where he was. He was running third. He almost made it.
Now, to establish that restart order, NASCAR freezes the field on the caution, goes back to the last scoring loop where everyone was running prior to the moment of caution. That's how they reset the order. The 20, Eric Jones.
Ooh,
shoots
boy,
through.
He did just thread the needle there. Barely made it through.
Let's ride along.
Oh, man, the gates just parted. I mean, everything opened up. He went right through.
Contact for Kyle Busch. This is Joey Logano right behind him. Trouble.
Hey, Greg. Here's the big one. Man.
Well, there goes half the field.
Sure does.
And it's Ryan Newman leading them around. Oh,
Jimmy Johnson. Hopes in his final Daytona 500.
Kurt Busch, another former Daytona 500 winner. Brad Keselowski trying to win it for the first time, all torn up. Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, one of the fastest Fords in this entire field. And here's Martin Truex, who couldn't get back to the lead pack and gets all torn up. Smoke out the exhaust pipe.
That's not a tire problem for the 18 of Kyle Busch.
We are, of course, under caution with 15 to go. Watch the outside line here, Jeff.
You can see Joey Logano really aggressive to the rear bumper of the 10. He's going to push him all the way up to the 2. And they just, right before the 10 gets there, there's a little bit of movement. And that little bit of movement, when you make that much contact, turns your car right around. That's exactly what happened to Brad Keselowski and the 10 of Almirola.
And that happens right in front of most of the field.
And that really all started with a big push from Joey Logano. Remember Joey Logano talking on the radio earlier about, you got to tell me when I'm pushing that car and it's going to make contact with the car in front of us. Well, that happened right there with his teammate.
Here's our Ford onboard camera with Logano.
You can hear he started to lift, but unfortunately Almirola's car started sort of swaying back and forth right before he made contact with the 2. Hooks his bumper, turns him around.
Oh, he slammed Alex Bowman. And then it's on. And for the second time in less than a handful of years, Eric Almirola ends up being knocked out of a good chance to win the Daytona 500.
On board with Austin Dillon. He even downshifted, trying to get that car slowed down enough to avoid this accident.
Riding with Jimmy Johnson, our Chevy cam.
Just gets slammed. One of the cars loses control. I think that was Mark Truex Jr. Came down, made heavy contact with Jimmy on the right side.
Was it a question of if or a question of when?
I think it was just a question of when. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. That group caught that other group. They're going to race really hard to gain that track position. We saw so much bump drafting going on. We're getting down to the end of the Daytona 500. Nobody's going to lift in that situation.
We are under the red flag. Cars are stopped on the backstretch, and work has stopped among the... 2 to go.
Boy, that was just textbook by Denny Hamlin. Can he put the block on? Oh, car. Oh, 77.
They're right behind you.
That was Ross Chastain. Got down on the apron, turned him sideways up the racetrack.
Straight into Ryan Preece.
And we have involved.
Another multi-car pileup. With 2 to go, we'll go to overtime. There's the Connecticut kids car.
Joey Logano.
Logano's got a flat left rear and trouble on the right front. Ty Dillon stuck in the grass, no rear deck lid or spoiler.
Well, that's a big hit by Ross Chastain.
He wants to make it around to pit road to load the car.
Yeah, I believe so.
And Ryan Preece, that car won't steer, it's against the wall. Now Almirola, that's prior damage. He just got back out there, and maybe a little current damage. Watch 77 right here.
Well, I knew those cars were going to stall out. You can see right there, Ryan Preece sort of pushes Chastain down onto the apron. As soon as it gets down the apron, he loses control. And heavy impact to the 22 of Logano from Chastain. Car goes sideways. He tries to correct. You know, those kinds of impacts for Logano, it might not look as big of an impact as what we see some of these other cars because of the damage, but when you get right into the driver's side door and then the passenger side door goes in the wall, those hurt.
That almost looks, Jeff, like the right rear went down with all those sparks and the car just took off.
I think the car, once he came up on the apron, the car just got a little sideways. He tried to correct, and it caught the banking and shot the nose over.
I think Michael McDowell made it through with minimal damage.
Ouch. I see Christopher Bell go by with some damage.
Let's ride with him and our Toyota cam.
Just nowhere to go.
And we'll ride with Ross Chastain.
Such a run. You're really at this stage in the race, you have no choice. You just can't lift, and there's only half a car width of room there, and he tried to take it.
He's made it to pit road. As the field circulates under yellow, teams are allowed to work on the cars. We're going to hear from Denny Hamlin's radio and Ryan Newman's.
I would have kept pushing.
The only driver in this race that was in the 2001 Daytona 500. That's like back in your era, Jeff. Oh, no. Almirola Bowman.
Oh, the 24's on his side. Look at what I said, Clint, about 21 cars. I don't know if we got there, but man, that took out a lot of race cars and a lot of great race cars in there.
I know Eric Almirola was one of the front ones up front, so anytime that happens up front, you're going to take out a lot of them. There's Jamie McMurray.
All these cars stuck in that mode. We've had. You can see the outside 48 Alex Bowman doing a little side drafting to the right side of Eric Almirola.
And I see a gap in between Eric and the 20 car.
And look at the push coming from Kyle Busch. to his teammate, Christopher Bell. Now that's going to get him to the rear bumper.
Big shot.
Oh,
yep.
He just got over on that right side.
I can tell you another part of that equation, Jeff. These cars, they have skew in the rear ends. That's obviously for speed and make the cars go fast, make them pull up to other cars. It's also, in my experience, makes them squirrely. When that car hits him, it pushes that car into the steer of the rear end, and it can turn you in a heartbeat.
Or so reminiscent when Eric Almirola lost the lead in the closing yards of this race in 2018.
He was along for the ride. As soon as that contact hit, it just turned his car right. He took the words right out of my mouth. Unbelievable. Crushing blow to so many teams, so many efforts that it goes into having fast cars and being at this Daytona 500. That was a lot of heavy hitters in this one.
We're going to ride with Ryan Newman through this.
Well, look at that 24 car go up on the side on 2 wheels.
Smashed just as badly as he got with his primary car
that's
Thursday
his
night.
backup car.
At least a dozen cars involved. Oh, David Reagan torn up as well.
Back to 2 wide, but he's in the middle lane. Got to run with him in the middle lane. Airline's got a little bit more of a run. 43 closing on you. But still has got spinning top, spinning top, spinning top.
Just nothing you can do when it happens up front like that.
Carnage in the first 15 laps of the Daytona 500.
Everybody stay, they're playing with their gas, the 9 and the 3 mainly.
Gap for the 2 car right there.
That's Joey Logano's spot.
Gap on the 4. He's
Big
4 off
gap.
the 4.
TJ Majors.
Everybody stay in here though. Big gap behind the 4. Brad's got him stacked up big.
20% of all Daytona 500s have ended with a last lap change of the lead.
That's not going to change tonight.
There he goes.
Big run right here.
Joey's going to move down, block that.
Right to his teammate's bumper.
Watch what happens now behind all these guys. Now that's going to shake everything up. Here comes Austin Dillon to the outside. Oh, man, Kevin Harvick in trouble, gets shuffled out.
White flag. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Okay, now these guys, their job, if you're Austin Dillon, one of those
Watch
guys.
this run Kevin Harvick has on the bottom.
Now the 5 can go to the outside. They're all trying to build that run that Keselowski did.
Here goes the 3 car.
Will Dillon have help? No, they come down to block. Logano goes back up. Keselowski with him. McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The run's on top. Oh! Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric. Hard hit by Kyle Busch.
Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but will have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's okay. Joey Logano we see taking off the gloves and the steering wheel.
I think McDowell's the winner of this race, guys.
He was first across the line. NASCAR will review and have to determine the finish at the moment of caution. And we'll wait for official word.
Huge win if that's the case.
But Bob Jenkins' Front Row Motorsports crew is celebrating on pit road.
Oh, wouldn't that be incredible? You're going to see some emotion out of this guy if this comes back official.
A lot of tore up race cars.
All the Chevys torn up. You saw Priest with damage. Chase Elliott with damage.
This was a really hard hit. Kyle Busch when he came in.
Yes. And the AMR safety crew very quickly on the scene. Being directed.
Look at the damage to the wall.
It's a bumper cover up there. And there's Kyle Busch climbing out. That is a great sign, and that means everybody has climbed from their cars after a huge pile up on the final lap of the Daytona 500. NASCAR is still reviewing video footage because when they hit the caution light, that time stamps all video to determine the order of finish at the moment of caution.
Huge run, went for it. Joey was obviously had to block.
The question is, where did that caution come out? Chase Elliott pulls ahead of Michael McDowell.
Oh, look at the run he got right there, though.
Dowell, the run on the outside with a little help from Hamlin.
All right, we know the caution was out there. We saw some caution lights where Michael McDowell and the 3 of Austin Dillon pulled ahead of Chase Elliott.
And Michael McDowell from Glendale, Arizona, for Bob Jenkins Front Row Motorsports, has won the Daytona 500.
How about that?
Man.
That's a huge win for Michael McDowell and that team. Doesn't get any bigger than this.
And a huge crash for everybody else. McDowell is the 40th driver to win the Great American Race and the 8th driver in history to score his first career cup win in the Daytona 500. And yes, Clint, he led only the last lap.
That's all it takes.
Only one you need to win. Awesome job.
Man.
So happy for him, his family, that team. That's pretty cool.
Has a road racing background, worked his way up to the Cup Series. Has had a variety of different teammates.
Yeah, I said it. We were talking about it when they were riding.
Yeah, you're giving them props.
Every time you look.
Well, to Clint's point, Kyle Busch in the 18 car had that discussion a few moments ago with his team about when Denny Hamlin is pushing him through the corners, how much it changes the effects of that race car, whether it's loose or tight, depending on which side of the bumper Denny gets to. Told Denny to calm down just a little bit back there. Denny said he was just trying to learn for later.
Oh, no! Big crash on the back straightaway takes out William Byron, Kyle Busch, and Harrison Burton. Oh, crap.
Somebody was upside down. I don't know who it was.
Lap 63, caution number 3.
I would say it's that 21 car, it looks like, by looking at the roof.
Alex Bowman's in it. Somebody took a hard shot to the rear bumper that we saw on the onboard camera. Around it went. Ross Chastain involved. Now watch the 21 up high with Brad Keselowski behind.
He's flanked off that right-hand side.
Come off the corner, the car got light exactly like I was talking about. Man, it went over too. I was right. Dang it. A lot of good cars.
Denny Hamlin with a spin there, not sure how much damage. Kyle Busch, 24 of William Byron. They're both going to get swept up in this.
Oh.
Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell gets into Burton. And that's a long slide on the asphalt into the safer barrier, hard for Byron.
Half in front, tight out the back, tight in front, all the way, wrecking here, wrecking.
Oh, man.
Keep rolling if you can, just lock it down, let them come under you.
I don't think Denny's got, never mind. I almost said he didn't have much damage, but he definitely has a lot. I just feel like that's a pretty aggressive, pushing, obviously, on a rookie. Tony, you talked about it. Again, come off of that corner, got light, and that thing was long for the ride, but very aggressive pushing. All right, so Stenhouse left his dancing partner. He went down, chose to go down and blocked it.
Whoa! Spinning around and into the fence goes Harvick, and it's a 7-car jam session.
Eric Jones is in it. Noah Gregson's in it. Dang it. Chase Elliott.
Todd Gilliland all torn up and climbing out. Kyle Larson
hoping for his first top 5 in the 500. Now Kevin Harvick can't see both sides of that car to assess damage. But
I do. Left front is way towed in. It's it's hurt bad.
And Noah Gragson, the Cinderella story of Team 62. Eric Jones, who was poised for a top 5 finish. From the Goodyear blimp, Harvick outside of Keselowski there, and Bubba Wallace. Here comes Larson. Oh, jammed up.
Larson had a huge run on the outside, and he was trying to slow that momentum down to get to him. But as he got to him, it kind of seemed like Kevin was having, the 17 was backing up to Kevin as well, and it just accordiated.
Yeah, the Harvick was having to slow down. Larson's got a huge run here, but
watch Kevin try to.
Kevin's got to run on the 17
at
the same time, so Kevin has to check up here, and Kyle's got a ton of momentum.
Yeah, you saw Kevin kind of move to the outside, and Larson was trying to tee him up, square him up, so it was a good bump draft, and they both hit at an angle and spun him around.
And you could see how the exhaust pipes out of the 5 car. You could see where he lifted. So it wasn't like he just ran in there and plowed through.
And 2 cars that shoot through the middle, Kyle Busch and David Reagan in the 15.
One more inside, then you're clear low.
He moved up to square up to the 17 right at the time as the 5 hit him. It's just a timing thing, accordioned, and away they went. Dang it, took out a lot of good ones there as well.
Let's ride with Chase Briscoe.
Now by himself. Check up low.